Hey guys, and welcome back to GasMask 360. And today's a special episode. It's gonna be our Xbox 360 / kinda sorta original Xbox game collection. And I figured now would be a good time to put this out, considering the release of Halo Infinite is just about a day away by the time you see this. So let's get into it. So first up, guys, we got Assassin's Creed Rogue for the Xbox 360. Now, guys, I'm a pretty big Assassin's Creed fan, and this one was pretty unique. You got to play as a little assassin named Shay Patrick Cormac. Spry young guy, one hell of an assassin. But the twist in this game is that he actually turns to the Templar side. And you get to kind of experience the story from that angle, which isn't something you get to see too often in this series. Overall, there's quite a bit of missed opportunities with this game and whatnot. It was kind of fun to play from what I remember and what have you, but you know, as the 36th Assassin's Creed game, you know, it all kind of starts to run together. Next up, guys, we got Command & Conquer 3: Kane's Wrath. Now, I did own the original Command & Conquer 3, but I don't know what happened to it. So, this is the only version I have of it left physically. But yeah, so this is one of the few RTS games available to us on console back in the day that I think really proved that consoles can handle RTSs. For the people that thought the menus in these kind of games were too messy or it was too hard to get around and select, they're wimps, they're babies. I never listened to them. Games like the Command & Conquer series on the console prove that they work, and you just got to pay attention to what you're doing. And these games were just such a blast. It is really a shame that Halo Wars, the Halo Wars series has to, you know, really like neuter itself to try and be as accessible as possible. And I just think you give it a few minutes, you know, navigating through stuff, you'll figure these games out just fine. Really need more of these kind of games. Next up, guys, we got Soulcalibur V on the Xbox 360. Now, I've been a pretty big Soulcalibur fan since 4, and, you know, funny enough, because I really like games with some in-depth character creators, I feel like 4 was probably the best overall we had in that aspect, and whatnot, and it just feels like they kind of, like, limited just what you could do with the character creator from game to game, and kind of just rehashing like reusable, unlockable like outfits. Like there's some new outfits, but like I feel like they just kind of rehashed a lot of old stuff, especially in DLC. So that was kind of disappointing. It was a pretty fun fighting game. I love swinging big swords around and everything, whatnot. Ezio from Assassin's Creed was a guest star in this one. So that's pretty cool. So next up, guys, we got another real-time strategy game, this time fantasy-themed in the Lord of the Rings series. We got The Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth 2. Now this is another RTS, like I said, that proved that they can work on the console, and I swear you literally just give yourself a few minutes to go through the menus, figure out where everything is, you will be fine. For anyone who disagrees, you are a baby and thinking too hard. I will die on that hill. But yeah, we like to call this one Loader Bath Me 2. In this game, it's got a pretty wacky story. You're a member of the Elder Council, and you're trying to stop King Arthur from getting the Ring of Power and summoning a shit ton of meteorites to kill the Elder Council. And something about dusty Gandalf farts and whatnot. But if you play the game, you'll understand. So next up, guys, we got Fable II for the Xbox 360 from Best Buy here. They didn't have an actual case for this for some reason. But yeah, guys, I've enjoyed the Fable series. I think Fable 2 is probably my favorite overall. I mean, especially because you got to run around and look like Master Chief and have an energy sword, so that was pretty cool. I think Fable 3 tried to be a little bit too big for its britches. But I think Fable 2 struck a really good balance, and hey, you got to have a dog. So next up, guys, we got ourselves Gears of War 3. Now, guys, I think this is as good as it gets when it comes to the Gears of War series. It honestly should have stopped here. That is another hill I'm going to die on. I thought Gears of War 4 was interesting. Judgment was a series of arcade games. And Gears of War 5... yeah, no. Just no. But yeah, so Gears of War 3 is about as good as it got. This is when they kind of, they knew what they were doing before the Coalition took over and was just like, well, we just need to make more Gears games and forget finality and any meaningful endings. Here you go, check it out. Gears 1 through 3 is really great. So next up, guys, we got Dark Souls for the Xbox 360. Now, guys, I gotta admit, I really like the idea of Dark Souls, and I'm really looking forward to Elden Ring when that comes out. But to tell you the truth, guys, I cheated in this game. I made myself effectively immortal with like 1 billion souls. No enemy or boss could kill me, and I eventually killed them over time. The funny thing is that I didn't actually beat the game because I got to Blighttown and, well, even if you cheat and make yourself immortal, the terrain still kills you. And I got really pissed off in Blighttown and dropped the game and never went back to it. So that's my Dark Souls experience. Hopefully Elden Ring's, not so crazy. Well, we're into a special little place here. Starting off here, guys, we got Halo Combat Evolved for the original Xbox. This is where we get into our original Xbox series. Here's with some of these Halo games. Hang on, where is it? This one's kind of a twofer. We got the original here, and then we got the remake, the anniversary edition. Halo 1 is a pretty special game. I didn't actually start with Halo 1. I started with Halo 2. But I remember seeing some of my friends play this game. It looked pretty interesting and cool. You just get thrown into the action. You're thrust onto this ancient space ring that no one knows anything about, and there's a bunch of aliens on it, and you shoot them with your guns, and you stop whatever plot they were planning. It's a pretty old school fun time. I highly recommend Halo 1. So next up, guys, we got Halo 2. Now this is probably my personal favorite Halo game of all time. Not just because it was my first one, but I also think I just think the story is just so fantastic in this, and you go to so many different worlds and places, and you get to run around as just more than Master Chief. There's a character called the Arbiter in this, which is just easily probably one of the best characters in Halo. Such an awesome game that takes you on such a great journey. Highly recommend it, guys. Next up, guys, we got Halo 3 for the Xbox 360. Now, funny story with this one. I don't actually know where the game is. but I have the case, so I know I own it. I lost that disc a long time ago. Have no idea where it went. But yeah, Halo 3, this is where you finish the fight with Master Chief. This is where the whole Halo series ends, right here, with back when Bungie owned Halo. Great send-off, great campaign, another fantastic journey for the Chief. Really looking forward to seeing where that goes in Infinite, and hopefully it doesn't suck balls like Halo 5. So next up, guys, we got Halo 3 ODST. Now, in this one, you don't actually play as the Master Chief. You play as, an ODST, which are basically kind of like between Marine and Spartan. They're just way better trained and way better equipped Marines, basically. Yeah, this is pretty cool. It all kind of takes place in a city, and you're going around and killing more aliens with guns. And I think it's a really cute little story, and highly check it out, guys. So next up, guys, we got The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Oh man, guys, this is where it all began for me with the Elder Scrolls. Oblivion was my first Elder Scrolls game. If I had played Morrowind, if I knew of its existence and had played it back on the original Xbox, I probably would have liked it. But going back to Morrowind after playing Oblivion, I think Morrowind looks old and ancient and plays like dog crap. Now, there's probably a lot of people out there that will disagree with me, but it's just my opinion. It's just, I didn't start with it, so it's kind of hard to go back to. Really hope they remake that someday. Oblivion is such a fantastic open world RPG. Definitely one of Bethesda's best games they've ever put together. Awesome story, awesome factions you can join with stories of their own. It's awesome, guys. You really need to check out The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Next up, guys, continuing in the vein of the Elder Scrolls, we got the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Now, this is the collector's edition here, so it's pretty fat. Now, guys, Skyrim. While I think I'm pretty nostalgic towards Oblivion, I think Skyrim has kind of elevated itself for me a bit more in certain regards, but I think that's mainly due to mods. Because I played the crap out of Oblivion to where I almost can't even go back to it. I played it so much. The same would definitely be said for Skyrim, which just got a new anniversary release this past November. But I think the mods extend this game's life almost indefinitely. I definitely spend more time in the mod menu than actually playing the game. That is definitely a thing. But hey, if anyone needs help with load orders, I spend so much time putting them together for myself and testing them. I'm basically an expert. But yeah, guys, Skyrim's freaking great. You play as a dragonborn who can steal the souls of dragons, and it's just fucking awesome. Try it out. So next up, guys, got another fantasy RPG here. Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition for the 360. Now this comes with the original game, Awakening, and all the downloadable content. I cannot stress enough how fantastic Dragon Age Origins is. It is by far the best Dragon Age game. I enjoy Dragon Age 2 for what it is. I really like Inquisition. It's definitely the second best. I think Inquisition does a lot right. But this is by far the best. Now, some people might play this game and be like, this game is really too old and dated. I don't really like the way it plays. It's understandable. It's not for everyone. But just the amount of choice you get in this game is insane. It is insane, the amount of choice and just customization. you get to have with just this game alone. Like, this game works perfectly as just a standalone game in its own universe. The writing is mwah, chef's kiss. It's definitely one of the better games BioWare has put together in a long time. Now, moving on from that, we got Dragon Age 2 for the Xbox 360. It's the BioWare Signature Edition. Now, like I said, I think this is definitely at the bottom of my list for Dragon Age games, but that doesn't mean I don't recommend Dragon Age 2. I think it is really good for what it is. They literally put this game together in like a year. Because after how successful Dragon Age Origins was, EA was like, evil EA down here, was like, hey, we want you to do that again, but we want it to be ready by like next holiday. And they were like, fuck, okay. So I think for what they were able to put together in a year, really stands out. Really great game, really leads into Inquisition very well. It's solid. Now, next up, guys, we're still in BioWare town. We got Mass Effect 1. Now, I can gush about Mass Effect all day. I think it's another great BioWare entry, just the original trilogy in and of itself. Despite, what you might think about Mass Effect 3's ending. Mass Effect 1's really solid. It's another game that's kind of old for some people. But the Legendary Edition that came out not too long ago definitely helps alleviate a lot of those issues with graphical and just some UI improvements. The gameplay is not incredibly different, if at all. But it's just such a fun game to run through, and the story, the characters, the writing, it's pretty damn great. And then we got Mass Effect 2, which just continues all of that. Definitely the Empire Strikes Back of the Mass Effect series. Definitely a darker tone, brought down to more personal level. Another fantastic game, characters, writing. Really more heavily focused on the characters and their stories. And their personalities than any other game in the series, I think. Just fantastic. And then, of course, we got Mass Effect 3, we got Steelbook Edition, male Shepard on front, female Shepard on back. Good stuff. Literally just... This is such a fantastic trilogy. BioWare really hit the nail on the head with this. Some people might think they bent the nail at the end of this game specifically. Didn't go down so well, a little crooked. But I think with time and the extended cut that they added to the game to kind of flesh those endings out more, because I won't lie, if they had left the endings the way they were, don't know if I would be as fond of them as I am today. But the fact that they fleshed them out and for what they are, I think they're fine. I personally think Destroy is the best ending. It feels the most Mass Effect, in my opinion, in terms of, you not getting the most optimal outcome. And plus, you've been playing the entire series to wipe the Reapers off the face of the universe. But, I think the Destroy ending, even for what that might cost, is worth it and feels the most thematic. But I won't go too much more into it than that. You do have some other choices of how you want to end the series, and I won't really delve too much into that here. But they're all good for what they are. I just personally prefer blow up the bad guy. But yeah, guys, that's it for this collection. I own quite a few more digitally, but yeah, I'm really excited for Halo Infinite, and I thought this would be a good little video just to prep everyone. I think Xbox has got this, guys. Just cross our fingers and let's hope Halo doesn't suck for another 10 years. Peace out.